So, hi everyone. So here with us we have, what's the proper way to pronounce the name of the company? Maritaka?
Yeah, in Portuguese it's called Maritaka. It's a bird. It's a colorful bird like a parrot.
That's what I didn't know.
They root a lot, so it's like a bird, a talkative bird.
Okay, wonderful. So
yeah,
it's
in English you could call Maritaka.
Maritaka, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a new company, participates in X Culture for the first time. And so obviously students have seen the company description in the brief that we prepared for them. But there were many additional questions. So quite a few students contacted us. And I apologize to the students for rescheduling the meeting, first scheduling it sort of late into the semester, but then rescheduling it last minute. So I know many students wouldn't be able to join because of the last minute notice. Some have classes at this time, some in Asia, Australia already sleeping, but we will record the meeting for those who cannot attend live. And as I said, some of them already sent their questions by email asking me to ask them. So, but I would like to start first with the introduction of the company founder and manager, but also the company itself. So Anna, I will turn the microphone to you. So tell us a little bit about yourself maybe, but also your company, the idea, where it came from, the history, the products. So, and then we'll go on with the questions. And for the students, by the way, so students, you can ask your questions as the meeting goes on in the Q&A window or chat window, but also don't be shy to raise your hand in case you have a question and would like to talk to us. We can add you to the panel as well. So this way you can ask your questions with voice. Yes, Anna, please.
So let's switch my brain to English. So I'm Anna. I'm co-founder of Maritaka. That's a really company that we are starting out. So let me talk about me a little. I'm graduated as an architect and business. And I consider myself nowadays a serial entrepreneur because I used to work as a developer, real estate manager 6 weeks ago. Oh, sorry, someone. And then I started a company called Anna Wood that we were trying to sell jewelry, and I failed. It was maybe 6 years ago. Then I came to the US. I stayed 2 years in US. I took some courses, some business courses related to market, international global market.
Where in the United States did you live or study?
In Virginia, but I lived also 3 months in New York, Manhattan. So I took a really nice course at FIT that helped me a lot. And it was very cool because I learned a lot of market related to fashion. That's my passion. And then, so I came back to the US, and at that time, the pandemic was just starting out. It was 2020. And so then I have a friend, she's a teacher in the University of California. She teaches sustainable business and international business, entrepreneurship. And we started to make some partnership. So we decided to export a bunch of products to US, sustainable and ethical products related with fashion, like clothing, accessories, and also home decor. And our first step, so we built a retail website, then we started to develop the retail website. And And so we started to have advertising on Instagram, but it didn't go well because we only sold 2 units of our products. So our best known product is this robe that we launched to have some Zoom calls and Google Meet calls. But nowadays our bestseller product is that watch. That's a sustainable watch made with bioplastic.
Huh.
Yes.
So you actually make it yourself, or you source it, somebody else makes it for you?
No, we have a manufacturer. We only customize the products and fit and match the products to US market.
Uh-huh.
We are not the manufacturer.
There is a question right away. So from Emily Brown Fox. So where is the production place? So is it in the United States, Brazil, or somewhere else? So maybe a little bit more about your supply chain and the products in general.
Yes, this is our strength because we have more than 200 manufacturers here in Brazil that we have been in contact. So we have manufacturers across the whole country.
And then, so in terms of your distribution channels, so you make products primarily in Brazil, but then do you sell
Yes.
them all around the world, or how does it work?
No, only to US. We were focused
only
to US because my partner is in US and I know US market, especially fashion US market. So I'm open to sell to other countries, but I can be sincerely, I don't have any idea how to sell to other countries.
So tell us more about the products, though. So you said that these colorful robes, watches, or sell, I guess, source, somebody makes them for you and then you sell them. What are the other products? I'm looking at the challenge instructions that you shared with us, and it looks like you have quite a lot of different clothing items and stuff, right?
Yes, related to clothes, we only have the robes, but we also have accessories, necklace, earrings, watches. The watches, they are not on the website. And we have sunglasses too, and wallets, and some home decor stuffs. And so I think it could be nice to tell me about our second step. So I told the first step, and the second step is, so we found out that we failed selling on retail because we didn't sell anything. We invest a lot for if we think about our budget, and we didn't have revenue. So we pivot the company to the wholesale market. And we started to find some fairs, B2B fairs, to get in and put our products. And we consider these strategies a very good strategy because we start to have revenue. Nowadays, we are only selling to Uncommon Goods. That's a pretty big marketplace in US. They are not marketplaces because they bought our products, but they advertise a lot our products, even the design that made the products, and they have a very personal strategy for each seller in his company, in their company. And so we pivot to the wholesale. So I put all of my energy in the wholesale to find more companies that want to buy our products. And it was good for us because we don't have to invest anymore in inventory. So, and we believe to invest in brand as a retail will be a big a much bigger investment. So we are keeping this B2B strategy. Last week I was talking to other students, and I keep them freely to see if they want to work in retail or in wholesale. And but I believe that kind of freely got them a little bit confused. So I think now that I'm doing the webinar, I can say to you, we are really focused on wholesale, and I'm working to change all my websites to a wholesale profile and a wholesale face. And I think my goal with Xculture is to open the American market for me, to find out new companies that we can partner with and working with or for. And we also want to sell more to Uncommon Goods, because we had a great opportunity, and we have been a great relationship with them. We have been doing well with them, and keep the Instagram strategy and TikTok strategy, because I know the students, they are really focused on social media. They like social media strategy and social media ways of develop, and keep the social media to build the brand, because to advertising for some companies in order to buy our product in Instagram or TikTok, it's difficult. I don't know any kind of possibility. Another thing that the students are asking me, and if we have a return policy. No, we don't have yet. That's a weakness. But we are inputting a percentage of the products, the cost of the products. Well, we are inputting a percentage of the product to return policy.
A few questions, if I may. So we talked about it in the beginning, but maybe Kendall missed it. So one more question about the company name. So you said Maritaka, that's the name of a colorful bird. Yeah. So how did you come up with this name, and why this name?
Because this bird, it's colorful, because we have a colorful mood, and we believe there is a gap in the US market to sell colorful, yes, colorful things and stuffs, fashion stuffs, because we think, ethic companies in the US are more related to Asian aesthetic and to a boho aesthetic, hip aesthetic, but we don't see a lot colorful. So how can I say, floral
designs, yeah,
patterns. Yes, we believe we don't see a lot in US.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, when I used to live in the US, I was wearing like a suit that there was a parrot in the suit, and everybody used to stop me in the supermarket and ask, "Oh, where did you buy that suit?"
Yeah. There is a question from Eminem. So the production happens in Brazil, and that's where the shipping goes from? Or one of your questions is, find new suitable markets. And so I guess their question is where the products would be shipped from. Would all of the shipping be going from Brazil? Or
they are shipping from Brazil.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, here is another question from Paula Pardo. What is your current shipping method? So when people buy your product on the website, how do you handle the logistics?
I didn't
So,
get it. Could you repeat again,
so
please?
yeah, I guess the question is about the shipping method. So when I buy
Okay.
the product on your website, how
Uh-huh.
does the shipping work? I mean, is it something that you, I guess that's what the students mean, you know, do you
Yeah,
actually
we
put the
arrange
product in the box?
everything. We have a trade company in partnership, as a partnership.
Mhm.
So we arrange all the freight. You use DHL or UPS.
Uh-huh.
Yes, there
And
are
then
not
do you actually put the products in the boxes yourself, or do the manufacturers ship them on your behalf?
until now. I've been doing that, but maybe no. Probably if the company grows up, that it will be a very opportunity to ex-culture students to see and observe how a startup company will grow. I think that the supplier will deliver the product and they pack the product. But
Got it.
we are always supervising them.
Yeah.
Yes, this is another strength because we work as a customizer and we are trying to educate our suppliers. So we are trying to educate it, how works the American market. We're trying to educate it about the deadlines. That's really, really important. We are trying to educate it how to ship the product, how to pack the product. Everything must be flawless.
You mentioned that you're the co-founder of the company. So are there more partners that you founded the company with?
Yes, there is
And how big is the company altogether? Like how many employees do you have? Tell us more
no,
about
we are working only the founders. It's me, my founder in US, Paola, and my sister. She's a founder too, but she's not working in the company. So I'm full-time working in Maritaka, and Paola, my partner, she's a teacher too.
Got it.
Yeah.
You mentioned the watch that you have there, but you said it's not listed on the website. So Nelia Bago is asking, why is it not listed on the website? Is
Yes,
there a
because
reason?
just right now, we are trying to change the website to wholesale product. And so I sold 80 units of that watches to Uncommon Goods. And we decided to do not put in the website yet, do not make any misunderstanding related to price. And we are doing some privilege to them about the watches, and we are checking the sellers with them, the sellings with them.
Several students asked about the marketplace you use to sell your products. So you have your own website, right? So people can go to your website and buy the product. Do you also list your products on Amazon or eBay or Alibaba or any other market platforms?
No, because we have our proper retail website, and we have a lot of access, but we didn't sell anything. But the access is still growing. We have more than 2,000 access each month. So, and to sell with Amazon or any other big marketplace, I don't know. Tax their commission, and it's a different kind of and way of company that I wanted to have.
Yeah. I also see Amy Brown Fox, and I think she's actually here with us, but she also sent an email, a question by email about your cost structure. So I guess the profit margins, cost structure, and maybe if I can expand, other students asked about that too. So in your final price, what part of the price or cost is the actual manufacturing cost? What part is your labor cost? what part is marketing and other expenses that you may have, if you are at liberty to sort of divulge that information, to share that information.
Yes, depends on the product, but because we're still working and trying to fix all of the market to each product. But for example, the robe is my profitable product. I could say to you, we have 40% to the manufacturer and more 10% of marketing, and the other 50% I can share with the seller, and the other 50 it's for me. 55, sorry. Is it okay?
Yeah, that answers it.
Is the total say?
Yeah, I
100?
think that's a good answer. Yeah. There was also a question from Drew.
Yes, because the product, Brazilian and Mexico product, they are not shipped.
Right.
Because we are working with well-made products, and all of the channel is ethical. We have recipe to all of the suppliers that were involved. Okay.
Yep, makes sense. Now there are
Is it
several
okay?
questions, several more questions about.
We can improve our margin if we sell more. Then we can make the product cheaper according to the demand.
Makes sense. Now there are several more questions about your pricing. Like for example, Drew Hofschwell, if I pronounce the name correctly. So you mentioned that you would be interested in selling your product to businesses, B2B. And so the question is, the prices you have on the website now, these are unit prices, right? So that's for the retail.
It's the retail prices.
Now, would you be willing to offer bulk pricing? Like if they find a large buyers, are you able to negotiate some sort of like, bulk pricing?
Yes, we do have. It's almost 30% less than that price.
Yeah. There is another question related to that, is from Emine, and I hope I pronounced them correctly, but what is your production capacity? So like, for example, she's asking here about your necklaces. Like if somebody, it looks like they found someone who's willing to buy 2,000 necklaces for per month, or they say if they found hypothetically. So how much can you scale your production?
No.
That would be too many?
Yeah. Our idea is scale our production with a bunch of products and a wide portfolio, because our supplier, they don't have the capacity to make 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000. We are working around 300, at most 500 units per each supplier.
Yeah. So Emily, I see you have quite a few questions. If you want to raise your hand, I can add you to the discussion here, and you can ask those questions yourself, because it looks like their team, I think it's team 88, if I remember correctly, it looks like they already found some potential buyers or distributors, and so they wanted to talk a little bit more about the quantity. So potentially there might be something, maybe something that that they might want to ask. So I'll add, I'll allow you to talk in case you want, but feel free to join us. Okay. So let me go. We have quite a few questions here as well. So yes, let me just promote your panelist in case she wants to join us. And I think I accidentally promoted, just 1 second. I think I accidentally promoted Chris. I'm not sure if Chris was going to, yeah, so I'll just, yeah, I'll just move Chris back. So is it Emmy or Emily? Emmy, if you can talk, go ahead, please, if you had any more questions.
Oh, I think oh, no.
Yeah, so she's activating that. But let me go through some of the other questions for now. So from Jacob Taylor, have you considered expanding onto Facebook and Instagram with your products and partnerships specifically? And if you are changing over to a B2B template, is the goal to use social media to market your companies or some other tools?
Yes, our strategy is to leave the social media to build our brand. Okay, I don't know if I can access any company through Instagram or Facebook. So if the students know how to do that, I really appreciate. Check it out.
Can you tell us more about what you already tried with social media? So you said that you tried some Instagram before, right? And it didn't work very
Yes,
well?
we invest in 6 months $2,000, and we advertising to women between 25 to 35 years old around San Diego area.
Mhm.
And the results, I told you
Nothing
many
worked.
times, was unhappy.
Yeah. We've been working with several companies advertising on Facebook and Instagram, including promoting some of the X-Cultures programs. And it used to work pretty well up until about a year ago. They changed the algorithm again. So they change it from time to time. And sometimes, something works and then it stops. But whatever they did about last summer. So ever since, most companies complain that it's not as effective as it used to be. So many of our partners say that all of a sudden they cannot sell anything via Facebook and Instagram. So I'm not sure what exactly changed, but there was some change that made it very difficult to basically the effectiveness of advertisement via Facebook and Instagram. I'm not sure if it applies to other media, but those two don't work that well anymore. So,
Yes, and
yeah.
we tried hardly. My sister, our co-founder, she works to a digital market company, so she knows a lot of strategy. But we gave up. We almost abandoned
Yeah.
the Instagram because we had to focus to other strategy. So, but I have to return and keep my focus to share my focus constructing the brand.
So how do you advertise now? What are
We're
your
still advertising Instagram, but just a little range of money.
Emmy or Emily? I'm not sure how to pronounce the first name. You had more questions. Please go ahead. Your microphone is muted. Yeah,
Thanks
we
for
can hear.
accepting me. Thank
Sure.
you.
Yes, go ahead.
You can call me Amy as well, no problem at all. First of all, I'm so happy that you organized this with Anna. I'm so proud. She's a woman entrepreneur, and with all my heart, I'm supporting her. That's why I'm so interested in. And I'm an entrepreneur as well. I'm 48 years old, so I have an experience in the different markets. And I'm willing to contribute with my project. That's why with the Team 88, we are really working on it. My really question is, if we found all the distributor, they are ready to sign with you, they will ask you some amount, the quantity to promise for amount, because they have a chain to feed, and for each item, would you able to tell us from now which item, how many quantity, as a quantity you can produce per month? Necklace, this how many? Shirt, how many? One by one, item by item. Is it
Yeah,
possible?
yes, I think the shirt is our role. It's our bigger production. I think we can produce 500 robes per month at most, and the necklace around 300, and the watches we can produce more because the manufacturer is well prepared. I think they can produce 400 It's around 300 and 1,500 at most,
Mhm.
and at least 100.
So if there was a demand though, like let's say, for example, Team 88 brings you a retailer who's willing to buy more and more, would you be able to scale up the production at some point? Like if they want to
Yes,
buy, let's say 1,000 per month or so.
yes, I can scale up and depends of the product and can find other manufacturer because we have a wide network here in Brazil.
Yeah.
So yes, I can change the manufacturer. If it wasn't a designer product as the watch is, I can switch the manufacturer for a bigger one. I have this possibility for sure.
Good to know. Good to know. There are many questions about markets. Like, for example, Victoria Spies, I think that's the name. So she's asking about your target market. So you said that you primarily sell your products in the United States and you target the United States, but several students, including Victoria, wonder if other countries may be more promising markets. So for example, Victoria says that in the United States, people are not so big on colorful designs, but in some other countries they are very interested in those designs. So are you open to try to sell your products to other countries as well? Or are you interested in the...
Yes, I'm open to.
So then in that case, I encourage the students not to focus on the United States only. So maybe Europe, maybe Asia, maybe other Latin American countries. So I think that should be...
yes, if they ensure me and that's a good pretty market and show me any possibility that I can have, I'm open to work with.
And that's a good point. Yes, show us sort of, the demand. I'm not sure if it would be some sort of a survey or would it be some sort of a, maybe letter of intent from a potential distributor. So, yeah. So there are also a few questions about your brand. And I'm not sure what, like, for example, Shannon here is asking how are you committed to your sort of brand name? Would you be willing to rebrand? And I'm not sure if Shannon implies that maybe the name doesn't sound right in some languages or they just have better ideas. But yes, if somebody brought you an interesting new idea for the company name or the new brands that you can have maybe under your company umbrella, would you be willing to incorporate new brands into your kind of corporate structure?
Yes, I'd be willing to. So I'm a startup company, so I have to chant until I find my way to distribute the products and to sell the products. And if you guys think that this thing is doesn't fit with my brand or with the American market, we can think about any chant.
Yeah, I personally like the word Maritaka. Sounds cool.
Sometimes I think it was too long.
Yeah, and especially now that I know that it's a bird, colorful bird, it seems to be very appropriate. So yeah.
So there's one thing that I have to clarify. I believe our market is the pulverized market. I'm checking the word in English. So we can sell a bunch of products to a with a very wide portfolio and many suppliers to a bunch of companies. Do you understand me? Not one big manufacturer to one big company.
Yeah.
It's a pulverized market for sure. Even if I hire or are partnered, with some bigger suppliers, it's going to still be pulverized because the American market's enormous. It's huge, and I know
that's
that.
True. Very much true. Yeah. So yes, my only sort of comment on the company name is that before I knew what the company is, the name sounds a little bit like a Japanese company name. So some companies in Japan have some similar sounding names. So first I thought maybe it is some sort of like a Japanese appliance or knives or something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually a Brazilian company. So, okay, no problem at all. Yeah. Yeah. So there is another question from Tiffany Varela. How pictures had the most likes? Oh, wait, so sorry. What pictures had the most likes on social media? How many items have they sold in the past 3 months? What items have been frequently sold? It's like a lot of questions here, but I guess the question is primarily, so what kind of pictures do you use on social media and which ones of them were most sort of successful in attracting attention?
Yes, our most viewed product was the robe, but it wasn't that. It was that one that's colorful with some waves. Yes, that our best note product. We send that to some of women influencers on Instagram. They advertise them, they record some stories and put in their feed. But even though we didn't sell anything, oh yes, and we only sold 2 robes. One with that pattern, that with the waves, and another one that's black and with a parrot.
Which one is it?
Oh, but lower. No, up.
Well, in any case, yeah, a lot of beautiful designs here. So, but
I think it went down.
it just
This is our best known. The second.
This one here.
No, the second. No,
This
down,
one here.
down. No, down.
Yeah.
Yes, this.
Okay.
And we sold the first one, and all of them we send to the digital media influencers. We mix and send to them. They love it. They are still wearing them, but even though we didn't sell.
I see. There was also a question about sunglasses. You mentioned that you also tried selling sunglasses, or you plan to sell sunglasses. So is that one of the products, because it's not on the website at this time?
Yes, it's in our pipeline. It's the same supplier of the watches. They produce the sunglasses with sustainable plastic and colorful, but I can choose the color. So it will be a great product. And everything is prepared to sell it.
Trade shows. So you mentioned trade shows. Did those work? And what kind of customers could you find there primarily?
Yes, I found only one that we sold that wasn't common goods. But we've been receiving some emails, and we are trying to acquire some suppliers, but till now we only acquired uncommon goods. But I have to know more fairs in US. I was trying to search about that, but if I could receive some names of trades fair, it will be super cool and good.
And that's a good question. Yeah. So students, if you find any information, do provide the dates, the participation fee. That tends to be very useful. There are 2 related questions, one from Shannon and one from Paula. So Shannon is asking which other social media platforms have you used to promote your product? And then Paula is asking, have you also tried 10,000 Villages or Anthropology as marketplaces?
Yes, we tried. We filled out a form, and we are in contact with them. But we need some help.
Yeah, as always.
Yes, yes. I think
Yeah.
when I pivot my template to the wholesale phase, it will be easier. But if you guys have any opportunity and if you know someone that I can talk inside anthropology or little market or 10,000 village, it will be a nice performing.
Victoria is asking, are you planning on adding more clothing items or home decor items in the nearest future?
Yes, we can sell whatever the companies wanted. We have a facility to find more suppliers, and we have a big list of suppliers, and I can sell clothes, I can sell accessories. But in my opinion, the bioplastic is doing well in US. So that because I'm improving my portfolio with bioplastics watches and wallets and sunglasses.
Mm-hmm. To know. An interesting question, and I'm actually interested in that one very much too. Micro influencers. So you mentioned micro influencers that you work
Yeah.
with. Can you tell more who they are? And I'm curious for myself, how did you choose them? And can you tell more, like, how does it work? Do you pay them? Do you send them sample products? I know many companies ask about influencers as promoters. Can you educate us on your experience?
Yes, we didn't pay, but we send the product and we have a lot of chats with them, explaining how is the lifestyle of the brand Maritaka, how is the Maritaka woman that we think is the Maritaka woman we believe, and they got it. They worked hard. They were always in touch with us. It was a great experience. But in the end, we didn't sell, as I've been telling many times.
There is a long but very interesting question from Nelia.
They
So
are America.
yeah, that one too, but also, so there is another one. They say they did a survey of 200 friends from more than 12 countries, asking them what they think when they hear the name Maritaka. And they say not even one thought that it was a Brazilian company. And so they think that people would be very interested in Brazilian products if they knew that it's from Brazil. So they say maybe you should add like made in Brazil or Brazilian DNA. And would you be willing to make changes on your website so people know right away that it's a Brazilian company? Because by the name, it's very difficult to guess that it's from Brazil.
Oh, hello, are you?
Oh, sorry, you
So
lost my.
Sorry, the internet freezed a little.
Yeah,
Could
I'll
you
repeat the question. So there is a very interesting question from one of the teams. So they say that they have conducted a survey of about 200 friends, asking them what they think when they hear the name Maritaka. And they say
Okay.
that none of them thought it was a Brazilian company. So all of them think that they would like to buy a Brazilian product. But the way the branding works, people don't realize it's from Brazil. So the team one asks you if it would be maybe a good idea to add some sort of like, made in Brazil or Brazilian DNA to the product so people know right away that it's from Brazil. But also at the same time, they ask if you would be willing to make some changes on your website so that it's more prominent that the company is Brazilian. And Nella, I'm not sure if I'm explaining your long question correctly. So if you want to maybe join us, raise your hand. I can add you to the panel. You can maybe clarify it if I got it wrong. But yes, so I guess, are you signaling to your customers that you're a Brazilian company?
Yeah, I can understand that I am a Brazilian company, but we wanted to be known as a colorful and happy mood company. Not only it's made in Brazil. I think for us it's better to be known as a sustainable and colorful and ethical, happy company. But if the students make any research and think and find out that we have to undersign as made in Brazil, we can do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know that, well, anyway, Nela, you're here. If you want to go ahead and
Hi.
clarify your question, please go ahead.
Okay, hi. It was more because I did the survey because I have a lot of friends from different countries and I wanted to see which market would be better. Not the US, like another country. And nobody thought about the brand being Brazilian. So I was like, do we need, do you guys want the people to know that, okay, we are Brazilian brand, what we sell is from Brazil, or it's just, we just sell colorful items and that's it.
Yes, maybe it's a big gap. I know that's no Brazilian company in US made in Brazil, and I kept thinking about that, and you can help me to thinking about that too.
Okay, because a lot of items.
We think we will be undervalue the products because Brazil is good. We have a very wide sense of nature here, and we are an ethical country because our labels laws is super rigid, but we are not very, very well done in US.
I understand.
We think we are a very welcome country. We can understand, oh, we are Brazilian brand made in Brazil, something related to it.
Okay. I think Nela is correct about that. So it seems to me that, these days almost everything comes from China, and nothing wrong with China, but it's sort of now boring. So if we had Brazilian products, I think it would be cool. Like I've never seen products from Brazil, so I think I would find that interesting.
Yeah. Because a lot of fast fashion brands do have robes like this, and it's not the same material, it's not like ethically, locally made.
Yes.
So we wanted to emphasize that, but I just wanted to know if you guys wanted that, or for you guys, it was more of a, we just made it in Brazil because it's easier or just cheaper, or
Yes.
That was the question. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment, Nela. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. And I'll thinking about but maybe I'll keep it.
Okay.
Well, you can always, Nela, but also anybody else here. So if you guys have ideas, do put them in the report and let the company see it.
Of course.
So if you can make a compelling case, we've seen companies like literally we had a company that changed the name because the students told that the name didn't sound right. So we had a company called Unplag. So they were doing plagiarism. And so everybody said, no, Unplag doesn't sound right. So the company changed the name to Unicheck that one of the teams suggested. So companies are willing to make changes as long as you provide a compelling, sort of explanation.
And I have one last question. Is the three sisters, all Brazilian or not? Because on the about us on the side, three of you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. That was my last question. Thank you.
Shannon, I see you raised your hand. Do you have a question or?
Yes, I just want to comment on the name, the brand of the name.
Go ahead.
We were talking with my team. We were talking about how it was like nice to have a logo next to the brand. So it's like we know that the name of the brand is like a animal, a Brazilian bird. So it would be nice to have a nice logo next to the name of the brand.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
It will be more familiar for people to understand where the name comes from and everything. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, and maybe maybe you do have some sketches for the design of the logo. So if you do, so you can maybe add that as an example. So
okay, we will do that in the report with my team. Yeah.
So I'm looking at the pictures of the brand. the bird looks a little bit like a parrot, right? So
when you were thinking about the logo, we're trying to build a logo to do not compete with the colorful of the brand. So we try to write with a more clear font.
yeah. So it looks like this. Is this the bird? So Anna,
Yes.
is this the bird?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's a very popular bird. It's not a rare bird.
Yeah.
Even here where I live, that I live in the city, sometimes they were knocking on my window.
A bit like a parrot. I'm not sure you know
Yeah.
how the species are different.
Yeah,
So,
but it's not big. It's a small bird.
it's a small bird. Okay. Okay. So I see we have a few more questions. I know we're almost out of time, but if we may, just a couple more questions. So Jacob Taylor is saying Maritaka can be the brand name, but the brand needs to be built first. What do you do in terms of day-to-day activities that are focused on marketing Maritaka? Is the search for B2B and B2C a constant job, or are you split between all of these activities of the business? Are you the only employee that is working on the shipping process? So basically the question is, do you have a dedicated marketing staff that provides brand support, or do you kind of try to do it all by yourself, as I imagine happens often in startups?
Yes, until now I'm doing all by myself.
Yeah.
But we are planning to hire a company to work better in social media, and we need to hire.
If I may share with the students, it is not easy to find a company that will do the job for you. From my experience, and again, I work with many companies, and also we do some promotion around the programs at Culture. The challenge is that when you hire a company, it usually costs you a lot of money right away. So most of them want to do it only, like you're looking at a budget, $10, $20, $30,000 to begin with, which for a small startup may be a lot of money. And the problem is that you never know if it's going to work or not. So there are literally thousands of companies that they say they can do marketing for you. But from my experience and what I hear from many companies that we worked with, often they pay the money, but often they do not really get the sort of promised results. And so in many cases, the companies sort of, start experimenting with all kinds of ideas. They don't work. And so what happens in many cases that you've spent a lot of thousands of dollars, sometimes tens of thousands, and you still haven't really sold anything. So again, if you as teams have some recommendations for how to find a good marketing partner, and then maybe you have some to recommend, or maybe you have some that, maybe have some sort of a pay structure where the company also is interested in the results, do include that, because I know it's a problem for pretty much all of the small companies, because, you don't have a huge budget to hire the best of the best on the market. But if you hire someone at an affordable price, you never know if it's someone who will give you the results, or if it's, another startup just, that is just experimenting with some ideas. So
yeah, I would think to hire someone in Brazil to help me with the design and do some, how can I say, to edit some photos and to to write some statements in a good design, and to hire a woman in US to be the profile of the brand. And then we can teach that woman how to act, how to show up, and how is our target, how is Maritaka's way of life, and what we're thinking about, because we believe that woman must be in US, and I'm not in US, and my partner in US, she's not full-time in the business, and she's not interested in to be a social media influencer. So I think if I hire a social media influencer only for me, it should be nice. What do you think?
I agree with that approach, and that's exactly the logic that sort of I would apply based on my experience. Yes.
Yeah.
There is another question from Kendall about the logo and brand that appears on the products that you sell. So all those ropes, all those arm watches, does it have Maritaka logo on it, or would it be the manufacturer's logo, or
No,
both?
it's the manufacturer's logo.
Mhm.
We can work with the manufacturers as a private label manufacturer, but we are promoting their brands. And this is our first idea: promoting other brands and send Brazilian ethical and sustainable products to US.
One last question, if we may. So one more time, then, which social media platforms have you tried, and which ones you have not tried yet?
I only tried Instagram. I didn't try TikTok because I must be honestly, I don't know anything about TikTok.
Yeah,
But
same problem. Yeah,
I'm
it seems like
over.
everybody's using it, but I still haven't figured out, it seems, yeah. So,
Yeah.
how
But
about maybe
if I
YouTube or
hire
Google
a
AdWords?
social media TikTok influencer, for me, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's not difficult to work with TikTok, but for me, it is difficult.
So again, to the students, my advice is don't just recommend the social media. Don't just say sell on TikTok. Do provide more details, how to do it, maybe who can do it, maybe a script for the video for TikTok, maybe a sketch for the ad for Instagram if you think it should be there. If you recommend something like YouTube or Google AdWords, do provide as much guidance as possible as to how to go about it. It doesn't mean that you would recommend that the company does it itself, but do say, okay, well, here is where you can find a marketer so give as much direction as possible, because yes, of course the company thought about TikTok. Yes, of course the company thought about maybe Snapchat or whatever the other media, but how to go about it, that's something that takes time and research. And if do give those details and advice. Maybe how much would it cost, maybe what the ads should look like, maybe what kind of target population should be targeted. All of that is where we need your help. So don't just say advertise on Facebook. Provide as much details as possible.
Yes, and please, if you guys could open the market and put us in contact with any company or any fair trade, our main goal, I think, is that. And with the time, we are going to construct the brand with social media.
Yeah. By the way, we also get extremely positive feedback lately from companies that use AliExpress or Alibaba. I'm not sure if you tried it, but again, we have several companies this semester that said it was a game changing for them. So it really made a big difference. So for the students, if you think that might be a good platform, again, provide enough details. What are the terms and conditions of selling on those platforms? What are the steps the company needs to take to be listed on those platforms? Don't just say, go with AliExpress. So give more details there. Yeah. All right, Anna, so we are right on the time. So we're trying to keep it under 1 hour. We know you have a busy life as an entrepreneur and company manager. So thank you so much for the information. And then for the students, I hope we asked all of the questions, but if not, you can always email them to us and we will forward them to the company if it's a question we don't know the answer to already. And if it's an old question, we will just copy and paste the answer from the old frequently asked questions database.
Okay, and if you guys want to chat with me in private, we can arrange a time and schedule.
Even better, yeah. Thank you for being so generous. Be careful because we have hundreds of students working on your challenge. So if they all start getting private time, it may take all of your.
I'm proud of myself and my company. I think we are doing well, and you will have a positive result as soon as possible. I'm confident.
Jacob,
thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thank you. Jacob already put in the comments that they would like to have that private session. So, but yes, thank you so much. Very informative. Thank you, students, for joining us, and those who could not join. Hopefully we answered all of your questions as you're watching the recording, but if not, just ask them. We will, if needed, we can even organize another session, but send us the question by the email and we'll answer them as well. All right, well, have a nice day,
Okay.
everyone, and thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you, Vas, for hosting me.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.